Welcome back to another episode of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series Podcast. Bombshell 1111 is a platform created to teach ways to nourish the mind, body, and soul. This platform allows this podcast to create weekly content on podcasts with special guests each week that will stimulate your spiritual, mental, and physical growth. The podcasts are played on social media platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, Anchor Radio Station, Apple Podcasts, and more. This station has been created to allow us to interact with each other to share knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and light. So without further ado, please help me welcome your host and founder of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series, Keya.
Back, everybody, to another episode of Bombshell 1111 Podcast, our Hella Thoughts series. Tonight, we're back with another episode. It's been a minute. My name is Keya, and I'm your host. And I also have my co-host, Aziza, also joining us tonight. What's up, Aziza? How are you?
What's up, sis?
I'm good. It's been a minute. We took a little break since the 4th of July, but we're back at it again.
We back at it again.
With another one of them.
Yeah, one of one.
So tonight, you guys, what we decided to do was just do like a recap of our past episodes and just kind of like briefly talk about those. And then we're just going to have like an open discussion. So before, tonight's episode, Aziza and I, we kind of had a little chance to go back and review our past episodes that we had prior to even our new series, Hella Thoughts. And for me, Aziza, one of my most favorite episodes, and I'm pretty sure you are aware of it because I told you before, was with Take Money Hot. The music thing, that's just my thing. It's my uplifting hobby, I guess you would say, that I need in my life every day. It gets me through the day. And his interview, for me, with him, he is an independent rap artist out of Norfolk, Virginia. And for him, his appearance doesn't look how he presents. And that for me was something that made him stand out from the most. And then his sound was very, very unique. And I also still play his music, even now to this day, even after him interviewing. And he's been on the show twice. So for me, my first go around, we have 3. So my first go around, I'm gonna go with Take Money High. So I'm gonna leave the door open for you and you saying who your favorite past episodes or your first one was.
I would agree because with music, that's a common denominator that you and I both share. With music, working from home, the only thing that I have on throughout the day is music.
Yeah.
And it jumps around from all different genres of music. But I've been keeping my eye on the young god. I like Take Money Hot too.
Yeah. He was good.
Too. Like his song "Come Get It" is like one of my anthems. Like I put that on, and I'm like, okay, shit, Aziza, come get it.
Right.
And the appearance of him, the realness of what he's doing and how he's doing it, and he's doing it independent, really stuck out for me because he has a goal and what's on his plate, and he's carrying a lot on his plate. He's wanting to see everybody win.
Yeah.
That's been around when you go, when you're incarcerated, which he told us in his bio.
Right.
A lot of people do forget about you.
Mm-hmm.
But you will remember the ones that wrote a letter or checked on your mama or whatever the case may be. Sent you a kite, maybe sent you some money or a card, whatever the case may be. And not to know that music is not his only passion. His passion is entrepreneurship
Yeah.
and creating generational wealth for his children and being able to take care of his children. So that was definitely one of my favorite interviews also.
Yeah, I would say I agree with everything you said, totally. And I think another one of my past favorite episodes, since we're still on music, Kiki. I love her vibe. I love her aura. I listened to her song so many times.
DFN?
Yes. And for her to be so young, she's so humble, so mannerable, and so respectful. And when I see herself on social media, I make sure I heart it, because she if she keeps her same mentality, it's not for her, and she even said it herself, it's not about her becoming famous or making money, a lot of money. It's the message behind it, and it's motivation for younger females, and for her to be so young and have a plan and have it really engraved in her heart and her mind. For me, she touched me, so I really loved her as well.
Yeah, since we go, with the music, DFN, when I first got the track, I was like, okay, I can relate. Now, I'm an older queen, but I can relate, because, even as adults, we know there's some fuck niggas out there.
Right, right.
It's some some catfishing going on. It's some brothers that's appearing to be one way and they not that way, and I hate that shit.
Facts, no cap.
Give me the same. Impress me. Be the same motherfucker you was when I met you.
Please and thank you.
Please don't be coming me one way. I decided the other day I want a godly hood nigga. I do.
Amen. Amen. I mean, bless the hood.
I need you to be able to be comfortable in your skin. And DFN, I could definitely relate, to her song, and her mission, because her mission led me to her message.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about getting to a bag, and Key is, wanting to help empower the youth of her generation. Juggling being a student and her passion, of music. And she has some really great things, even though she was so humble in her explanation. She has some really great, collaborations that she has going on.
Yeah.
With Sizzla and with his son Scorcher. I mean, when she said that night, I was like, okay, I had an idea because I've been following her for a while before we interviewed her. But it's like, no, I need you to stand on that. That's major. That's a musical dynasty that you ingrained yourself into.
Yeah.
And we know music is going to go as long as it goes. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you can't relate to DFN, which I know as women we do, and this is not a bashing, of the black man at all. This, Hella Thoughts is all about empowerment, of igniting, as I'll always say, shifting. And I'm very proud to see where else she goes with this.
Yeah,
So,
me too. And I think, as far as like just overall, I think everyone that's been on the Hella Thoughts, I've definitely enjoyed every guest that's been on Hella Thoughts. Prior to Hella Thoughts, I've had several guests on as well, and I don't know if you had an opportunity to listen to these individuals, but one in particular, Archie Kern. I thought his episode was very beneficial to us as Black people, because he was teaching us about financial literacy, how to start your business the correct way, how to open up, credit card business accounts to kind of help you in your personal life while also starting a business. So I thought his episode was very, very, very beneficial. And then one most recent one that we had with Baba, that for me was the ultimate one. And I say that because it was one, informative, very educational, and he spoke with power.
Oh
He
yes.
spoke with confidence.
Oh yes.
And yeah, I mean, he made me want to go back to school just to go to his school. So I mean, he was really, really, really he was really one of the best episodes as well. And you guys, you can go on Bombshell 1111 on the Instagram page and check out information. And if you are interested in enrolling your child or even enrolling yourself into getting your GED, his information is there for you guys to check that out. And it's online. And he also has summer school available as well. So go and check that out. And there's a small video of the actual classroom of a teacher teaching. So please go check that out. But going back to the episode, so Aziza, what is your feedback on him?
Oh, shout out Uhuru Academy. That's Uhuru.
Yeah.
Baba Mean and Uhuru. That's a sacred bond right there. I tune in to his morning bills because he bills every morning before he goes into the classroom to teach.
Mm-hmm.
And Baba has a way of keeping me focused,
encouraging.
And encouraging.
Yeah.
And he's a lover of hip hop music too. He got some new beat he dropping.
He said he want to be a DJ.
Yeah, Baba got bars, and his queen, she does also. I mean, but they have a compilation. We're getting ready to embark on Black August, which for our RBG family, Garveyites, solidarity is Black people, whatever your path of enlightenment is, that, purchasing that or downloading that, just helps fuel their cause as far as not only are you going to get some good music, but you're going to be supporting a great cause because Black August is a very sacred time. And Black August really is, how can I put it? It's work that you can do always, but it's commemorative with Black August, whatever it is you want to do to get yourself, prepared, because we got to be able to be prepared. And I didn't catch the episode on financial literacy, but to wrap back around that with your, before we created Hella Thoughts collectively, if everybody keeps telling us to get to a bag, who the hell gonna teach us how to secure it?
Okay. Yes.
Because getting to a bag
is easy.
I can go out and do that right now if I wanted to.
It's
just what bag, how many dollars on this bag do I want to have? So we need financial literacy. We need generational wealth to be created in whatever platform that you can, to be able to solidify your seeds and their seeds and the ones for your legacy to continue. Because me, I'm always building about securing the legacy.
Always. So
generational wealth and financial literacy. Black Wall Street's what I would like to see, and Baba touched on so many different topics, but listening to his bills and knowing how he rocks and how he educates, he has a way, and he has a smooth way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with waking you up,
right,
and letting you know that you already got this. Like, it's in you to be great. So it's in you to be great. So that's definitely was one of my favorite episodes.
Mine as well. I was so his energy, it was just so uplifting, and like you said, he was very encouraging. I mean, very, very encouraging. But okay, so Aziza, we kind of touched on, like we said, we're going to recap on our past episodes, and we're going to have an open discussion. So we've right now we've moved into our 5th episode of Hella Thoughts. And you and I both, we've got some great feedback from listeners, from viewers, on social media. We're looking at our, checking us out on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and Facebook and Spotify. Hoping eventually we'll be growing to more social media platforms. Hopefully iHeartRadio once we get going more. But I guess wanting to just talk about what has been your happiest moment thus far with starting the podcast? And what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a podcast and having to do it either independently or having a co-host?
Okay. So the happiest moment of my life with embarking on another endeavor outside of my day job, because I got 6 jobs. Shit, no lie, I'm adding on every day. Shit, no cap, no bullshit. I got a lot, going on. So the happiest moment of my life, because 2 things happened. I launched merchandise to promote all the things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I went into that with not wanting to just, I don't want an online clothing boutique. I want people to wear my thoughts. If you don't want to say it, you can wear it. You feel me? Because I say some shit sometimes that they jewels. So I want those jewels to be worn,
Yeah.
So the happiest moment was I sold my last, drop from this last capsule on Friday. My last t-shirt, Essential T, is gone. And I felt a little bit of sadness. Like, I think I want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, this is going into the hands of somebody, and I support this sister, and we support each other, and we have a relationship that's, a sisterhood that's goes over, a 10-year, bond that we have.
Yeah.
And she launched a career. So, it's just each one, reach one, teach one. It's enough out here. Everybody's not doing what you're doing. And even if somebody's doing it,
it's not the same.
What you're doing, if you just stand on your square, it's going to do what it's going to do.
Right.
Right. Whether it's t-shirts, whether it's lashes, whatever. If you don't bear witness and have the boldness to know that I'm going to bubble and I'm going to pop, then you'll be stuck.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
The advice that I would give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to mine, because I do a lot of different things, from community to my own brand. Aziza is a brand. Is don't wait. It's never too late, for your blessing to come. Manifestation, I bear witness to that. It's real. It can happen, but it's just like faith. Without work, it ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So,
right.
I'll sacrifice not getting enough sleep. I'll sacrifice turning where I live into a mini factory, to get to what I want for my seeds to have, and so on and so forth, securing the legacy. I'm gonna go back to that. It has to go somewhere. This energy has to go somewhere. Otherwise, it becomes stagnation. So that would be the best advice: is bet on your damn self. Don't wait for don't seek and wait for validation from someone to tell you, oh, you can't do that, or why do you think you should do that, or so and so is doing that. Me, I've always lived outside of conformity and opinion all my life, so I've never let those type of roadblocks get in my way. But I know it does exist for some people. My biggest roadblock is really me, because I overthink everything within my own self, and I have to take a step back and be like, okay, we're going to work on this. I have hella thoughts. I got Brown Sugar Lounge. I got a photo shoot. I got this going on, on top of being a mother and a sister to many. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about prioritization. But at the end of the day, it's all worth it. But that's the best jewel that I could drop on someone is, it's never too late.
I agree.
To do whatever it is you want to do.
I totally agree with you too, because initially, I told you when I first started the podcast, I'm a social butterfly. I love people. I talk all day long, 24/7. But with starting the podcast, it was something different. One, because you are being more intimate with people that you don't know. 2, you're having to really show your true personality. And then there are so many other people that are doing a podcast, like you said, that are doing something very similar or the same thing that you are doing. So, initially thinking that no one's going to follow me, no one's going to listen, I'm not going to have people to interview. But then once I got out of that and started thinking Like, well, damn, if she can do it or he can do it, well, why couldn't I do it? You know what I mean? I do this every day in my first job, like you said, my regular job. Why couldn't I do this for myself and build this legacy for my daughters? Because my oldest daughter,
Right.
her personality is very similar. She wants to be a journalist. She may potentially be a reporter or something on the news or something. You know what I'm saying? So this would be a platform for her to be able to educate others in
That's
whatever way, Aziza, that she decided to, because she loves education. She loves teaching. When she's at school, sometimes she's a teacher assistant. So, like you said, building that legacy, that generational wealth for your for your children, and then with my youngest, you can see, Aziza, she's the life of the party. She's like
Yeah.
TikTok queen. So, there's no telling what, again, this platform that I'm trying to create in reference to the podcast overall, and then being able to network with other platforms like, YouTube, which can lead to other things, even just Instagram and then Spotify. That's Spotify within itself. We've already established, you and I, with Hella Thoughts, we've already established a legacy there, because there are tons of people that we don't even know have listened to us. You know what I mean? And I sit and I think about that, and even going back and looking at the first video on YouTube and going fast forward up to now, we've marked history. So even 10, 15 years from now, that's still going to be there.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be there. It's up there. It's stuck there.
Yeah, and so for me, I think that all goes to say that is, like, for me at this moment, one of the happiest moments in my life, because when I sit and I think about it, we've created history in ways that I think, because we're so busy with the right now, that we don't even recognize that we have done.
Exactly.
Because I haven't shared this with you, but when I look at our numbers, for example, there's people in Ireland that listen to us. There's people like you wouldn't even imagine that actually listen to our podcast on Anchor. So we're touching many, many people. And I think for me that makes me more motivated to continue, even though I know we do have moments, and I know I have moments where I become stagnant with regular life, which pulls me away from doing the podcast. But then, I think that's why it's always good, if you do decide to do a thing like that, and if you're going to do it with a partner, to have a partner that's going to be able to kind of pick you up when you're down, and vice versa. And I think, that's why we jam so well, because if I'm in my feelings, you're able to you're able to help me get up out them things real quick. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna give you a quick five minutes. Okay, you got 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I appreciate that. For you to even say that that I have influenced you in that way. When I at the inception of Hella Thoughts, one of the resources is not that I have, and I'm going to pose the same question, to you, and that's great, that we're worldwide. We're so caught up now, and I'm not speaking for myself. Yeah. I'm just saying we in general, in the macro, of how many likes did I get, how many follows did I get. And, every time it's a tragedy, it's like one post after next. Everybody's competing to sound more, quote unquote, woke than the next person. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You ain't got to like or heart nothing I say. However, with all that to be said, my biggest resource and my gift is my intellect and being able to articulate it into this form with my mouth. And that comes all from the throat chakra. And mine is constantly activating. If anyone doesn't know what the throat chakra is, it's part of the chakras that you have in your house. And that's your communication. So whether you scroll past it, like it, I'm going to give you something to remember. and you may even go look some shit up and come back to me. But I'm not going into this for
Right.
popularity contests. I don't need popularity. I need people around me in my circle that's about making power.
Correct.
If that
And
makes
that's
sense.
what I think the podcast, for me, that was my ultimate goal, was number one, empowering other people, no matter what race, what color, because we all go through the same things, but we just go through them, differently. We all go differently. And, with bringing on different people with different experiences, and people that's going through different business ventures, and talking about their challenges, and that will help someone overcome. And then when we're doing our podcast, it's not always strictly about business. Sometimes we do get deep and very, very intellectual conversations, hence Baba. So and then even with our individual podcast, our first podcast that we did, we talk about things such as relationship feelings and things of that nature, that cannot, not only focus on one particular gender of, females, but also men and women as well. So I just really think that this podcast platform, and especially with Hella Thoughts, we've been able to empower a lot of people. And I think that if we keep our same momentum, and just be true to who we are, like you say, be true to who we are, I think we'll continue to grow.
Oh, indeed. Ashe, give thanks. Oh, most definitely. But the beauty of it is no one sees
us. Yeah,
they hear us. You know what I mean? They're hearing us, and that to me is actually the most imperative part, the words that are being spoken. Because really, let's just be honest. Somebody, you post something, it get a few likes, somebody might get a heart, boom,
Mm-hmm.
then on to the next. And so then, you're caught up in this, okay, well, I need to post this much, I need to post that much, and I'm going to be honest.
For me, yes, for me. I don't care.
And just because I might agree or like or heart some shit, please don't assume that I'm
trying to tell you, I may just agree with it. I may not be, I may be happy as all I do.
Please don't think I'm going through something. I just might like the way that you put that. You feel what I'm saying? Because
or maybe I have went through that in the past.
Yeah. But just keeping shit all the way 100. A lot of times, I feel like social media is, and for our people, has been one of the biggest.
Oh, definitely.
Because we use it as a way to victim shame people,
all of that.
We use it as a way
all
to be subliminal. Yeah. If you got something to say, I would prefer if you told me, because at the end of the day, whoever you thinking you being subliminal with, they know what they've done.
Correct.
You know why you posted it. So with all my nog champa burning and crystals draped all over my body right now, don't let that get you, into no entanglement. And I ain't talking about what Jade and Will went through. I ain't talking about that at all. You feel me? So it's just a balance, that we have to have. And this is the perfect time, with everything, the climate and the culture that's going on, is to, people, you do with it what you will. However, just think of the inception of social media. How many more hashtags is it going to take for a group to pop up to say support the black business?
Right.
You're doing that any fucking way. Healing groups. You know how many healing groups I've declined to be in? Because some of these people in these quote unquote healing groups, you don't have no love for yourself. So I know you're not going to love Aziza. I want for me what I want for you. I want for self what I want for you. I want for self what I want for my daughters, for my son, for my extended, my tribe, as I refer to them as, genuinely and truly, any way that I can add on and assist, because that even gets downgraded where people be like, oh, you clout chasing. I don't need to clout chase shit. I am
Yeah.
the clap. You know what I'm saying? But we as a people use certain things to, especially social media, and get caught up and get distracted. You know, if you don't want to wear a mask, okay, fine. If this person wants to wear a mask, okay, great. You know, ain't nobody. We're the needle isn't moving forward when you keep regressing, and that's one thing that we have to do as collectively. I'm not worried about quantity of people. It's the quality of the people that I have around me.
Yeah,
If that
definitely. And I
makes
think,
sense.
I mean, for me too, and that's why I take spiritual maintenance points at times where I just, dissociate myself with social media. I mean, not looking at it, not posting on it, not anything, because people don't understand, if they don't believe in it, that what you're looking at, social media is energy. So you may not be going through what that other person is going through, but reading those different posts and seeing different things may trigger something that you may not even know about. And, again, we didn't used to have social media. I can remember one in a time I didn't even know
Right.
about MySpace like that when they did have MySpace out. And I actually and I'm keeping it real.
I
Aziza,
never had my space. I never had
I
my
just
space.
started back with Facebook in 2018 because it's not my life. And then going back to what you said earlier about healing, in growing and in learning and going on my journey, with the healing thing, with joining those types of groups and things like that, I feel you 1,000%, because healing starts within yourself. You got to do that within yourself.
Right.
I mean, you may need people, well, not necessarily need people, but you may want people to, vent to, or necessarily have to console or confine in. But at the end of the day, that healing starts within self, because you can only fill up your own cup. Nobody else can fill up your own
That's
cup.
right.
Nobody else can make you happy. No one but you. Um, and if you don't realize that, you're always going to be unhealed and broken. And
Yeah, and support is great, to have. I'm just a creature, you know, that certain things with that for me, and this from just knowing me, I can't just give that to just anybody and put that and manifest that into any type of form, whether it be physical, whether it be on a Zoom call. I'm just I'm very careful with that energy.
oh, Aziza, I know that we almost running out of time and everything for tonight, but I wanted to kind of like let the audience know, and I know you did as well, about some upcoming things that we got going on. And then I did have, since we were doing open discussion, I did have a question that I wanted to ask you. And it is, I know you're new to podcasting, and this is our 5th episode, and we're going into our 6th episode next week. Well, yeah, next Sunday. And I know this is something that you've been wanting to do, because I know you're going to venture out and do your own thing. But I want to know, in doing podcasting thus far, who would you want to interview? And it can't be a celebrity. Who would you want to interview and why?
And not a celebrity.
And it's not a celebrity.
I would like to interview, in this time, if I had my grandfather, Abe Clemens, my mother's father.
And why is that?
He was the first example of a black man having ownership and wealth that I'd ever witnessed. And I was blessed enough to be his only granddaughter. I'm the only granddaughter on both sides, actually. But he had barely a 6th grade education.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in 1932 and was able to create generational, wealth and I would like to sit down and interview him to see what obstacles he faced in his time, with a limited education, and being able to do what he did and how he did it, and did it, so well. That would be who I'd like to interview.
Well, I knew you was going to say something interesting, so I had to have some kind of question that wasn't, all about the podcast directly, but indirectly, and just, wanted to see, and for feedback for the audience, because they're familiar with me with starting the podcast, but then bringing on the second series with Hella Thoughts and having a co-host, and with this being a new experience for you, I just wanted you to be able to share with the audience your feedback, and since we're doing a recap and we're at our midpoint, how you're feeling about podcasting thus far.
I'm feeling great about podcasting. There's so much more that needs to be, put out there, in this platform. So I'm feeling great and very, very inspired, by it. Hella Thoughts was, from my first interview on Bombshell on the other platform outside of Hella Thoughts. It was like, you know what, I could I can get with this, literally, because me, after about 3 sentences in, I feel like I need to say something, you know what I mean? Right. So the whole, venturing out, when that time comes, being comfortable and having a space, a safe space to speak and share jewels and inspire and uplift was, everything that I'd already manifested. To be quite honest, I had manifested this like last year sometime.
Yeah.
And it happened, so that means there's just more to come and so many more miles, to go. So I feel good. I feel great about that.
Well, sure. I'm glad you feel great, because I definitely feel great, and I'm very appreciative for you being a co-host. And you're right, it's only more to come. You guys, we are not for sure as to what, how we're going to, retweet things and revise things, but in moving forward, after the Hella Thought series, having a different series, totally different platform, totally different episode, so be looking out for that. In the next episode that we're going to have, we will be having Nancy Burrows. She just started a financial firm, so she's going to come on and teach us about that. And then we're not for sure as to right now if we're going to be doing our podcast every Sunday or every other Sunday, but with those changes, we'll be letting you guys know that as well.
Ashay.
Aziza and I, we are both working on getting other guests on the platform as well. You guys, not knowing right now what direction we're going to move in again, but be looking out for that as well. So with that being said, you guys, as you know, we always end the podcast with Aziza leaving us with a quote for tonight. And with that being said, Aziza, you can go ahead and end the podcast with your quote.
This is from Maria Callas. I fucks with Maria, I do. But this is one of my favorite quotes. And I think it's very fitting, just for what we want as women, entrepreneurs, mothers, everything that we do, how we doing it, the way we doing it.
Yeah.
When my enemies stop hissing, I shall know I'm slipping.
Okay, reread that again. Re-say that again.
I knew you was gonna like that one. I knew you was gonna like that one. And audience, please know I don't be Googling shit to try to find the perfect quote. This stuff is on cap in my head that I live by, my little tenets and commandments that I live by. So just putting that out there.
And know that she's woke, okay?
Oh, you're so crazy.
Okay, but we gotta hear that one more time. It's either we waiting for it. One more time.
When my enemies stop hissing, I shall know I'm slipping.
And with that being said, always remember you are the bomb within your own shell, and stay down for the crown. Peace, love, and light, you guys. Good night.
Good night. Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some valuable information that can help you on your personal journey. Also, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Bombshell 1111 or at Bombshell 1111 TV. You can also check out our mental health page, Your Health is Your Wealth, on Facebook, which is a page created to inform and support individuals with mental health and other health conditions. And with that being said, always remember, you guys, you are a bomb within your own shell. And until next time, peace, love, and light.